you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Layton.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's Old School. I get to be on Old School. This is kind of fun. DP in New York City for Christmas. There's Jay Foreman. Nick is here. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing all right, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I need some VOL up in here. Nick always tries to keep me on the down low.
Hey, just be happy that Tom turned your mic on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. See, Tom doesn't play these little kid games. You know what I mean? You play these little nursery rhyme games.
Back when I was a kid, but I kind of got over it.
Hey, man, before we get started, I got to give a birthday shout out to one of my – there we go. You know what I'm saying?
You get you fixed?
Yeah, he did.
All right. Shout out?
Yeah, to my main man, Ian Drouse. Finally turned 14.
Way to go, Ian.
Yeah.
You know Ian?
Yeah. Oh, I know Ian.
Really?
That is my main man, Ian.
Where's he go to school? You know? Is he in town?
Yes.
Somewhere?
Yeah, he's 14. Plays for me basketball. He's a baseball player, like a do-it-all. Same with basketball. Great kid, great family. And he's only been playing for me for a couple years, but he's a great little dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know you knew Ian.
Oh, I know Ian.
What is 14 these days? Is that like
8th grade?
8th grade?
8th grade. So he's a young 8th grader. Maybe he needs to reclassify. Then he'll go from a 3-star to 4-star.
Have you coached basketball for a while?
Yeah, for sometimes too long. See all these gray hairs?
Yeah. I'm way ahead of you on that.
Yeah, but all mine come from about 30 kids.
Are you waiting to get that beard lined up for Christmas?
Yeah, I am.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I am
Did you
too.
color it or you just let it go?
I let it go.
Huh?
But why are you on my beard, man? What's up, man? I mean,
I'm just asking, man.
This is holiday time, man. I'm sweatpants and chilling from here on out.
So am I.
Yeah.
I was just asking if you were waiting until Christmas to get it lined
No,
up.
I might do it. Like, it's hard. Everybody's got the same ideas, trying to get lined up for I don't know why, what reason.
I never grew facial hair up until recently.
Really?
And I kind of like it.
So you trying to do the DP over there?
Yeah.
He rubbed off on you.
Yeah, well, DP just goes with just the chin.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit more than that. I've got a little bit on the upper chin.
They say you usually start to look like people you hang out with. You heard that, right?
Do I look like DP now?
You kind of favor him a little bit.
No.
You go down on a family vacation to like Mexico or something, then you guys would be like,
we come back looking the same. You
just
couldn't tell us apart.
Exactly.
But just in for DP today. I think he's hitting some Knicks games. He's going, on Broadway. He's doing that kind of thing. Maybe some Islander stuff. That's what when he goes on vacation, it's basically just to watch football or hockey or baseball or something like that.
You always find where you stand with people that you either work with or whatever whether they invite you when they do trips like this. Because he's going to the Mecca of basketball.
Right. Are you mad that he didn't invite you?
Yeah. You know what? Just for radio, yeah, I'm mad. Sure. Yeah, why not?
Right.
No, I mean, hey, that sounds like a great trip. That's a lot, but it's a lot of walking though.
Yeah.
In New York, you can't take a cab, but you gotta walk.
What are you doing? I mean, what do you do around the holidays? You go back to Minnesota. Is that's where Chuck still is, right?
Yeah. I just talked to him today, so I got to hear about the great coach that they got. Yeah. And how Miami played Nebraska, they beat the break and so forth. So that's the first 5 minutes every time I pick up.
He likes Whipple.
Oh, he does like Whipple, but he likes talking about the Miami Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes. Everybody went to Miami besides me.
That's right.
Everybody, uncles, play uncles,
and you were offered by Miami, correct?
Yeah.
So to play running back or linebacker.
I don't know what they wanted to play me. I think they just thought I was coming, but then Coach Osborne, did his thing.
Yeah.
So so as we were losing this year, and Miami had a decent year this year. Yeah. So I heard that's the first 5 minutes every time he picks up the call, which is great. Obviously, but I'm not going to Minneapolis. We kind of did like a virtual Christmas Sunday. My daughters are here in town, and then all our family is from the DC area, so he's going out there. My aunt still lives in the house that my grandparents lived in and stuff.
Does he still go to Vikings games?
Oh yeah, the Thursday night game he was on there. They had him on sideline and everything.
Oh, they did.
They had him on NFL Network. Yeah,
awesome.
I was getting all types of texts. Like I think Schaefer was up at the game and stuff. So,
does he live and die with Vikings games? Like
I don't think he. What's funny is the Vikings and how Nebraska is now. The Vikings obviously are a little bit better because they've been kind of playoffs. They were real dominant when he played. Nebraska was real dominant. So I don't think he really lives and dies with it, but he's definitely invested. Yeah. He definitely won. I mean, who wouldn't? He put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and wants them to do well. So, and a lot of those guys live up there. I grew up with Carl Eller, Alan Page, Jim Marshall.
All those guys still around.
Yeah, and then Ahmad for a while until he started, hanging out with the higher ups with Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. Yeah. He'd have like a summer house up there. So I grew up around those guys.
Did you get to know some of the later guys like Chris Carter and Randy Moss and those guys?
I played against Randy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and so I used to play pick up basketball against Dante Culpepper and all those guys, when I'd be back in the off season. But I was a ball boy, and Chris Carter, Hassan Jones, Jake Reed.
Wow.
Steve Jordan gave me when I first started playing varsity football.
Tight end.
Yeah, great. Uncle Steve is what I call him, and his son is Cam. So Steve, when I was a ball boy, he used to always mess with me because I was tall and skinny and had these big old feet. He's like, "Damn, boy, you got some big old feet." And then back then, you couldn't get 13 and 14s. You'd be ordering them out of East Bay, and who knows if you could get them when the season started. So he gave me, because he was sponsored by Spot Built, I think, back then, and he gave me two pairs of cleats. He gave me a white pair and a black pair. He told me to wear the black pair when it's muddy out. And he's like, you got to wear the white pair when you want to look fast and stuff. So Steve is always, and I always enjoy seeing him and stuff. So all those guys like Joey Browner and all those guys, and so kept in contact with them. And then what's funny? I was a ball boy. Randall McDaniel was there. It was when he was younger. Ended up playing against him.
Wow.
Rich Gannon, when he was coming back off his shoulder surgery before I was coming to Nebraska, we trained together. He was rehabbing, and so ended up playing against him. And then I was one of the guys that used to sneak John Randall like weights to put in his girdle back then, so he could weigh in over 250. And
seriously?
Oh yeah. So when he got there, he had to be about. He says he was 250. He might have been like 235, 240, but nobody could block him.
He was the best pass rusher I ever saw at the Vikings. Yeah.
So then, his first year he didn't play that much, but he was on. But then obviously when I was a ball boy for 3 years, and the funny thing is, me and Lane Kiffin.
What about Lane Kiffin?
We were both ball boys.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
How are you going to be in here? Don't know. Yeah. So,
I didn't know.
Monty Kiffin.
I knew that Monty Kiffin coached at Nebraska. I didn't know.
Monty Kiffin was the defensive coordinator for the Vikings.
That's right.
So then Lane.
Before Tampa.
Yeah. So me and Lane knew each other, grew up together.
I forgot about that.
And then, what's crazy is that, Nebraska was there to look at Lane, not me, end up knocking Lane and all his buddies out of the game, and that's how T.O. started kind of.
Did you like Lane? Is he a good guy?
You know what? He was the same. He was always kind of like
Lane.
That was it. That was just him, cocky, arrogant. But I had known him. We cleaned up dirty jocks together.
Right.
So but he would definitely find a way to get out of the work though.
So growing up, you were probably friends with most of the coaches' sons, right? Is that who you?
Yeah,
hung out with a lot?
No, I have my own friends, but I knew them all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was fortunate enough to be a ball boy. It taught me a lot about, I was exposed to different, just being around professionals. I'd sneak in there and watch some tape, just sit in the back, say I was delivering Gatorade and waters or whatever it was. And then you'd see how they get ready for a game. So I'd go through the whole preseason. You see them play a little bit in the first one, get a little bit more intense in the second one, third and the fourth. And then I was able to do a couple games during the season.
So you were watching film at a really young age.
Yeah, but I was we're not in there like watching an hour. Trust me, once I had a break, we were trying to get into something. So,
right.
But if I would sneak in there and they needed something,
right,
I'd just sit there and watch a couple plays, and watch some stuff. But they had a great team then. They had Chris Carter and all those Anthony Carter and all those guys. So
that was fun. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Tom Stevens sitting in for DP. It is old school. You played for the Bills. You played for the Texans, Giants, 49ers. Who do you watch the most of those teams? Probably.
You see, I got my Bills on right now.
Yeah.
Where's Angry Jake at? He's probably celebrating somewhere.
You follow the Texans a lot, though, too.
I do. I probably I did some stuff with the Texans after I got done playing, and then I've been down there for a while. I did a lot of media stuff with them, and so they had Comcast Sportsnet down there, so I was down there for season or two. Right. The Texans are just, it's just, it's not the organization that I knew.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah, it's not and so it's kind of foreign to me. But they're great though to all the former players. But when you watch and see how the moves that they were making, like when Andre Johnson doesn't, when Andre Johnson says something.
Right.
I'm sure he goes through a whole day and might say like 5 words.
Right.
But everything he says means something. And for him to be, I wouldn't say I can't speak for him, but obviously he looks at it a lot differently. So it's definitely not in a good place.
Husker basketball, they're struggling. You've been to a few games. They lose again last night, 67-58. It was a close game. They started out well. First 10 minutes, they actually had a nice lead. They were up 25-15. They were shooting 5 of 10 from 3-point range. They were playing better than we've seen them play in a while. They had some energy. But when the ball doesn't go through the hoop, and there are long stretches within this team that happens almost every game, then you see their defense suffer. You see the energy suffer. What do you do with a situation like? You played on bad teams, I'm sure. Where
I've been on a couple bad.
Where some of the guys are trying, and some of the other guys are just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And what's that like?
You got to have, I think without Trey being there, I think it really, really hurts the team. I think he's a great player. So that just take that out of it.
Yeah.
What he brings to the team, intangibles and the little things that's what they're missing. They're missing a
glue guy,
a true glue guy, a true alpha, somebody that has a ton of respect that they can, or that he can hold guys accountable, and he kind of makes the flow go, right? Because of his experience, right? And he's a very selfless player, but he's a good productive player. And so that hurt, and he's like the heart and soul of their team, and so that hurts out a little bit. That hurts him a little bit, but and they just gotta play through it, and probably I'm sure they're focusing on the improvement that they made versus last 2 games. Obviously, they had a sickness go through the team, and they just I don't know if it was there in Michigan, but obviously they didn't look very good after. So they just need to find a way to get out of their own way, and what that, from my perspective, is, when you're playing well, you might be 5 or 10 of threes, but let's try to continue to play a different way. Let's try to get some mid-range. Let's get some stuff. Let's get other guys involved. I think the biggest thing is and this is just from my little experience of coaching, so-called AAU players or AAU, basketball. There's like 5 guys outside the 3-point line. You ain't gonna get no rebounds like that. So they got to kind of everybody's got to take from just a team building standpoint. Everybody's got to take a step back, look at themselves, right? Instead of hearing the things that they're being coached, they need to really start listening to it and then apply it. And then if they really do that and really say, hey, look, man, we're too good to be playing like this, right?
Yeah, because they are talented, right? You can see the talent.
Yeah, they're too good. There's too much of they have the pieces that can find different ways to kind of manage. Like you got Eduardo and Andre that can kind of get in there and play a role against a bigger team. You got a lot of guys. So, it's the players that really got to really take control of it. There's only so many practice drills, so many things that the coaches can do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's idea of being a fan or the way it should go is like, oh, well, you're not playing as well. Let's fire the coach. It's stupid.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree. But you can't tinker. There are things you could do.
You can tinker a little bit. You can maybe, like, if let's face it, D Walker is probably our only like physical presence, right? I mean, that's not
Eduardo can be, but
but he's got to probably mature a little bit, right? So, but just out of this, say like out of the first 8, right? First 8 guys, starter and 3 guys or 7. Maybe, since you only got one big guy, maybe play like a little 3-2 zone, try to up the tempo a little bit, get some easy baskets, and maybe not get caught in so many mismatches on switches. And with their lack of communication, I'd hope zone is a little bit, a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's not something the Doc has necessarily taught over the years, but they have played zone since he's been here. That's more of an adjustment, I think, for the way they play offensively. But it's just really tough. When you get into that funk where you just can't see it, go into the ocean. And that's where Nebraska up and down the roster, they are not shooting the basketball.
I've never seen a whole team not hit, but the 3-point shot, even though Steph Curry shoots it really, really well, and there's guys out there that shoot it really, really well, that is still a harder shot than a mid-range shot.
Yeah, and
or inside the 3-point line. I mean, that's just let's just be honest. Mike D'Antonio can say he can do all that. He ain't ever won anything. He can't. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, that's not. If you're just having an off shooting year, then that's what you got to maybe adjust a little bit.
Yeah, I think
it's still a hard shot, and and some of them are contested. I think where the alarming thing is the amount of open ones that, I guess, from virgin eyes that don't look like they have a chance of making it.
Oh, they're 353rd out of 358 teams in 3-point shooting. And another bad shooting night from 3-point range where you started 5 of 10. And again, you missed your last 18 in a row. It's a confidence issue. And it does affect your defense, I think, sometimes when you just can't make anything.
Well, and then, I guess, you could say like, oh, you want reboundable misses, right? But if you don't have anybody in there actively rebound, you're not going to get any rebounds. But you like reboundable misses. If some of them are coming off like gunshots, they're into their break faster. So now you're on your heels already on defense. It's not like, it's a reboundable miss, and you kind of two guys is going after it, and then you can get three guys back on D. Sometimes they're already in their fast break defense off the miss. So yeah, it does. I mean, if you're not, look, the energy. If you go and watch that, the Creighton, or not rewatch the Creighton game, the energy from when Webster got hot, then everybody else got hot, and the energy that they had on
really
defense, it kind of goes from there.
Yeah.
So you're right, 100%.
Let's get to Brett. We'd love to hear from you guys. Honda of Lincoln hotline 464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, the same number. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. The Starter Heyman. You can just wave to it and to see us there on the computer. Let's get to break, though. Come back with Tanya Taki. She played volleyball at a high level at the University of Nebraska. Of course, Nebraska coming off a national championship appearance. They fall in 5 sets to Wisconsin, but it looks like a team that is going to be around and be in contention for quite a while. Don't forget, Wisconsin lost 4 super seniors, actually 6 super seniors from that team. But we'll talk a little volleyball, what Tanya saw from the other night. We'll do it next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonzal Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonzal Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonzal Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
Give yourself a gift this year and let Liberty First Credit Union help you spread holiday cheer. With many loan options to show, it's off to Liberty First you go. Whether shopping for you or gifts to put under the tree, a loan from Liberty First can make you shout with glee. Log on to libertyfirstcu.com for more information and spend the holidays in a state of relaxation. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Equal opportunity lender. Let them help you with your purchase.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Layton.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See Club for details.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Tom and Bach.
I think the hope is from Scott Frost that the culture has been built and these guys below them have learned a lot from them and they will be able to take the mantle. That's the hope. And then what they don't have from the loss of experience, the super seniors, you can get from the portal, similar to what Mel Tucker did at Michigan State. I think that's the way they're going to attempt to build their program going forward.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In basketball over the weekend, Creighton Prep rolled Lincoln Southwest in a win 62-32, giving them their first loss of the season. Lincoln Christian won over Archbishop Bergen 47-41. Ethan Barrier was the Crusaders' leading scorer with 18. Lincoln Lutheran won over Aquinas 58-47. The Lincoln Lutheran girls also won in a huge spread 61-8. Lincoln Northeast got a big win over Omaha Bryan 65-59. They wouldn't gain the lead till late in the fourth quarter, outscoring Omaha Bryan 22-10. The Lincoln Northeast girls also won with an absurd 80-point margin over Omaha Bryan 85-5. Lincoln Pius X had a 20-point win over Gretna, 53-33. Millard North won over Lincoln East, 73-66. Millard West just got by Lincoln High in an overtime win, 62-54. Colin Nick led the Lynx in points with 16. Lincoln North Star fell short against Omaha South, 61-57. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old school Jay Foreman there. Tom Stevens sitting in for DP. Did you guys do the favorite Christmas music thing last week? Do you have a favorite Christmas song? What's at the top of your list?
Probably Silent Night.
Silent Night.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Why would you think it would be?
I don't know. Jingle Bells. Just one of the regulars. One of the class. I guess Silent Night's up there.
Yeah,
Certainly
Silent Night.
I like that. Tanya, favorite Christmas tune? What's at the top of your list?
I am a huge fan of all versions of Carols of the Bells.
Oh yeah, Carols of the Bells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to play either of them, but
okay.
No, I'm just kidding. What's going on? How'd your flight go back? I know that you were just coming back from Vegas today for your birthday.
Well, so my trip got a little bit messed up in that my car ended up in Omaha. I was supposed to fly out of Lincoln, ended up flying out of Omaha. We had a 9-hour delay on Friday, and then our flight got delayed in Denver today. And we ended up just flipping our flight to Lincoln. So my car's in Omaha and I'm in Lincoln, and we'll deal with it later.
Former Husker volleyball great Tanya Taki joins us. She graduated about the same time you did, Jay. So you guys must have met each other back in college, right?
You know, they were so focused on winning national championships that I don't know that he would pick me out in a crowd.
But you didn't win a national title at that time, but you were in that era.
Yes, we went to the Final Four twice in my days, and then they won it the year before I got there and the year after, so I was a tweener.
Well, they were back in the Final Four again this year, Tanya. They fall in 5 sets to Wisconsin after beating Pittsburgh in the Final Four. What'd you see Saturday night? Kind of what you expected? Was that match like you expected it to go?
I mean, everything has been outside of my expectations, and I think everybody's expectations. And when a team can exceed everybody's expectations like that, it's kind of a special moment, I guess. I mean, the whole state and the whole country was, falling in love with this team and the chemistry and the David and Goliath story. And, that we weren't even supposed to be there. And, that was something where we could have just laid an egg and lost in 3 and called it a night. But they fought and raised the level of volleyball for the whole country, set the bar really high. And I mean, everybody's just busting with pride right now.
Tanya, one thing I don't know much about volleyball, but I know Wisconsin had some extremely tall girls, right? So from your perspective, and I know you coach and run a successful organization, with girls like that, if you're going against somebody extremely tall like that, is there like certain sets that you can do to kind of get them to move and kind of, expose their weaknesses, which is maybe their quickness? Just because obviously you're not going to be able to, obviously spike it over 6'9" and 6'6".
6'8",
yeah.
6'8", 6'9".
6'8" and 6'9" block. Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like finding the holes, if you're running the ball, the running game, where you're trying to figure out where those holes are going to end up, and you use people as decoys to try to, slow them down, give them a thought that, hey, maybe Caffey's going to get set, but instead it goes to Cubic on the outside. You kind of, I don't want to call them trick plays, but you just do things to try to hold the blockers on the other side, very similar to football. And yeah, I mean, I kept texting my friends, my little friend group of all the girls that I used to play with, and everybody's like, can we figure out how not to set into a 6'8", 6'9" block? Can we change it up a little bit? Can we run some stuff out of the middle more? Can we pull the outsides off the net, give them a little more, real estate to work with, type of thing? And I mean, I just think that they went super hard as they could go. And, sometimes when you're going hard and running up against 6'8", 6'9", and they're not just 6'8", 6'9" is the thing. They play volleyball like an amazing 6-foot player who's played their whole life. They're in the Jordan Larson skill level as a college player, but they're 6'8", 6'9", and so it's not just tall, because that's one thing. But these girls are tall and also very coordinated, very powerful, very experienced. Dana Recchi is one of the only players to ever be a 5-time All-American because of the new COVID rules. And so, she's just a force to be reckoned with. And, our team gave it its all. Kayla Caffey is what, 5'11"?
Maybe. Yeah, 6 foot. They list her at 6 foot. I don't think she's that tall.
Yeah.
Well, I think she has the vertical to be over 6 foot, but I don't know that she's at the doctor's office without shoes on. She's 6 foot. But hey,
whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always wonder, since you're playing up there close to the net, is there a lot of trash talking? Because I know I would probably be saying, do you guys kind of say it in passing, or do you kind of, I guess you don't get in their face, but obviously, you could say it across the net.
There's some of that too. I mean, there is you're at the net, and there's definitely talk. It probably was more like Texas is more about that kind of stuff. And I don't know. So some of it's kind of, the other team can hear you, so you're saying things to your teammates and your setter about what's happening on the other side. And you're not saying, hey, the fat girl's going to get the ball, because obviously there's no. But it's not like you're specifically name calling or anything. But it's kind of that take that, oh yeah, I got you, I got this. That's very common in volleyball. And then the stare downs, like Nicklin with the extra eyelash extensions, she can stare down another player, and it's pretty funny.
They do have long eyelashes, so a few of them do. Batenhorst says big. I don't know, whatever you want to do. I like it. Fashion is definitely a thing in sports. As you were watching that team and realizing that John Cook is now 65 years old and Tyler Hildebrand has just taken the gig at Long Beach State, I kind of thought he was the coach in waiting. Do you think that now?
I after having a season like that, I can't decide if Coach Cook is fired up, let's go. I mean, I didn't call it when Coach Pettit left. I was Coach Pettit's last senior, and then in the news conference afterwards, they're like, is Coach Pettit retiring? I was like, I don't know how you retire when you have Amber Holmquist, Grace Lee Sapero. He had the stellar senior class or freshman class coming in, and they ended up going 22-0 and winning a national championship the next year. I was like, how does he retire on a year like that? And I feel like the exact same thing with Cook. How do you retire when the Final Four is in Omaha? You have 6 freshmen on this year's team going to be sophomores. They were the number 1 recruiting class. You have some of the number 1 recruits, Maddie Kubik's sister, and, she's Gatorade Player of the Year, and all these things happening. How do you just hang it up? isn't that the stuff that you work for your whole life, is to have a team like this where you can just push the gas and go? So we'll see. I mean, I don't try to be right about those things. I'm just saying that's got to be a tough decision.
Well, here's my question to that. I mean, obviously playing and myself playing obviously a different sport. When you had success like that, whether it was, thought that you're going to have success or you kind of earned it in the chemistry, from your experience, what is Coach Cook and the coaching staff going to have to do to not only manage expectations, but manage maybe, I wouldn't say like egos, but, look, there's a lot of success and a lot of the, notoriety is going to come to these young ladies along with the new recruits coming in. So now you have to kind of, I always feel like every year it's a new team, even though you can have the same players, right? So how do you manage those expectations or egos, or just kind of get everybody focused on one day at a time or one practice session at a time?
Well, I think you saw that in the works here. You had Lexi Sun not play hardly at all, at the end of the stretch, and freshmen got the nod. And, you didn't see, the team crumble. You saw them like rise up. And so I think because this team recognized how important and special what you just said exactly to the T needs to happen to have a magical season like that. And so if you have egos and you have, why am I not playing, or why am I not getting that set, or why am I not in the, the formation to make a great, play on this ball, those kind of things. Why am I not serving? When you have those questions and you question the coach and you question yourself, I think we saw that at the beginning of the season. There was a lot of questions from a lot of players. We didn't have a starting lineup that was set ever. We never knew who was starting. We never knew who was playing. We never knew when somebody else was going to come in. And I think there was just a lot of questions. And, you saw both sides of that. Question, didn't play well, stopped questioning and just went with it and just kind of believed in the system. And then we're, playing for a national championship. So I think that this group saw what it takes to get to that point, and how special that was. And I doubt that they're going to let a freshman come in and have an ego and mess it up. Like, somebody's going to be like, hey, not at Nebraska.
Former Husker volleyball great Tanya Taki is our guest. I want to ask both of you this question, because players, maybe Kayla Caffey could come back and make, I don't know, $100,000 next year, $50,000, whatever it is. We saw Adrian Martinez benefit. Lexi's son certainly did this past year. How would it affect your decision, or whatever you guys decide to do? Maybe you're thinking about the NFL versus coming back and making $100,000. How would that have changed your decision? First, start with Jay.
Well, back then, I don't even think we could have like a summer job, but so I think I would start my senior year. I think I was working at Gallup, and the first job was digging a sand pit for the kids. But I mean, for me, and I'm sure young ladies have the option to go play professional volleyball, obviously overseas. I mean, I'm a firm believer. You go with the known, and unless you're going to be, like if Grant Wistrom and those guys where they were legitimate first round picks, I think you go early. In football, when you go in the first, second round, you're part of the salary cap. You know what I mean? They got to make decisions and playing time based off the salary cap. When you're a little bit lower, you're just a guy. And if they had NIL and I could have made $100,000 on top of being on scholarship, and their scholarship checks are way like 10 times more than what we got, it would be a no brainer.
Do you think that affects things going down the road for, it already has in volleyball, but a girl like Caffey who could come back, Tanya?
Right. I mean, it's definitely the unknown for me, talk about known, unknown. I did have a summer job, but I worked Husker Vision and made very little money, maybe $200 a month here or there. But yeah, to say that there's players that can make that kind of money. I mean, I think the other dynamic is, what about the girls on the team that don't make the money? Then you have that dynamic. When you talk about egos, just from the last question, how does NIL affect the last question? Egos and, dealing with that on a volleyball team and who should be starting. Well, heck, not only starting, but if I started for Nebraska, that means the difference between me making $50,000 and $100,000. I mean, that's just crazy to add that dynamic to it. But as far as like coming back, I mean, I think as far as I remember is, I could tell you that the day that I was done, my shins were so happy to be done. Just the wear and tear on your body,
right?
And it's also wear and tear on your brain. So I think part of the coming back, I think we saw in the difference between Lauren Stivrins and Lexi Sun was Lauren Stivrins is trying to go on and play volleyball somewhere in the world. Like, she wants to make money playing volleyball, being a professional. She got drafted into the Athletes Unlimited. She wants to play pro. She wants to see where her body can take her. So you saw that this year. Like, I got hurt, but I'm coming back and I'm gonna go after this. And Lexi Sun was like, hey, I'm just kind of here maybe for the money, maybe to see how it goes. You know, this is my last year. I don't know what I want to do. And you saw the difference in just the speed, the intensity, the desire, just how they played.
Yeah.
They're just, all of that was just a huge difference. So you have players that want to come back just for the money. Are you coming back just for the money? Or are you trying to come back and be like, make this team progress into the next level?
Yeah. Good topic. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jake.
one more quick, and I just want to piggyback on that. Just explain, just from a volleyball, your experience or just what you see. I've been trying to tell people for a long time, you know, I always say athletes have, like, you know, dog sense, or, like, you know, animalistic. You can kind of look and see if somebody's really engaged, right?
Right.
So with the NIL, you can always tell people if they're really there for 100% or they're just there in presence. And, you know, just from your perspective, NIL or just coming back for the wrong reasons, it usually comes out in the most intense times. Is that a fair assumption on my part?
Right. I mean, that's what I basically just got done saying. Like, when the camera panned to Lauren Stivrins, she was staring down the other team and figuring out how to, like, kick their butt.
Right.
You know, and then Lexi Sun, you know, is smiling and she's, like, flipping her hair and, like, making sure her shirt's tucked in and those kind of things. And that's just just from my perspective. I have no inside info on this. It's just from watching, you know, from the stands and from the TV angles, you know, how are girls being perceived. And that's just how it went for me. And I was just thinking that's probably what the NIL effect is happening right here. And that's just an example. And, you know, every person is different. I mean, I'm sure Nicklin Haynes is getting NIL and going to be, you know, and I saw a Lauren Stivrins effect on Nicklin. When Lauren Stivrins came back, Nicklin played with more fire, more enthusiasm. I get to play one more, you know, 6 more months with my best friend. You know, I don't know that I saw Nicklin being like, oh, I know she has the eyelashes going, but I didn't see her like worried about how she looked or how it looked on TV or whatever. She just was going for it, you know? And so I think it just affects different players different ways. And I think that's why Coach Cook hires the, you know, sports psychologists and having team managers and having so much staff to say, hey, we need to take care of this because I don't know how to deal with this. This is brand new. How do you deal with one player getting $50,000 and one getting $0? And then the next player getting 100. Like, how do you deal with that in the locker room?
That's a dynamic you've never had to deal with in the past.
Right.
It is an interesting topic. Great stuff, Tanya. We appreciate the time. And, you know, next year will be here before you know it.
Yes, but will you be?
Yeah. Well, who knows? We'll find out.
All right.
Good stuff. Thank you, Tanya. Thanks.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Tanya Taki, former Husker volleyball great. It's an interesting topic to me with NIL.
Yeah,
and
I mean, look, man, it's kind of like the transfer portal. I think it's the thought was great. I think it just affects. Look, man, money
and they go hand in hand. NIL and the transfer portal.
People different ways. Some of it's a positive. You saw the Center for Iowa donate $30,000 of his NIL money back to the hospital up there. So it just depends. If you're there, I mean, and you can't. This is the thing about sports, man. You get usually. Well, here's the deal with any sport, especially at a high level. You have to practice, play, or you have to practice, prepare, train mentally, physically, and I would say spiritually with no guarantee of success. But you have to give everything that I said 1,000%.
Right.
But if you give 50% or you get 85%, you're going to be lucky if you get that percent.
Right.
Most of the time you're going to get less.
Yeah,
you can usually tell. You can look at a guy, and there's always people on every team that, they might have been, good player, just don't have the 100% respect. Where are you? Hold on. But she said, where you go? Where are you going?
I'm going nowhere. I'm going to be
she
here.
She said, are you going to be back here? Are you going?
I don't know what she's talking about. I have no idea what Tanya's saying. Making up stories is what she's doing.
I don't believe that. Tanya's pretty buttoned up tight, so it must be something you ain't telling me.
Hey, we'll find out more as the new year gets closer. But I do need to. Is this Nick's trivia take? Is that what
He's at 45, but Nick's nowhere to be found.
No.
He must have been. He
do you
must
have
be
a trivia question?
He must be outside singing Silent Night.
Does he do it on this side of the break or the other side of the break? Trivia.
The other side break.
Okay, so we'll do. He probably knows that. Nick's trivia question of the day. We'll do it, and it's coming up. By the way, dial us up on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 464-5685. The Sauter-Heyman text line. There are guys backing out of bowl games. A lot of guys doing it. It's becoming the norm. I want to get your take on it coming up. It's Old School with Jay Foreman. DP, not here. I'm sitting in for him today.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Happer and Schaefer.
They don't do the small things. Like, that's the other thing that is really tough with this team specifically, is that while they have talent in some areas, they don't do the stuff that doesn't require talent, which is boxing people out or hustling to get back on defense in transition. I mean, those are things that don't require a star level.
Right.
They're just things you have to do to be competitive.
You need them.
Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
Every time we make the choice to drive, we're making a choice that could have life or death consequences. Friedman Law Offices has proudly sponsored our holiday taxi service for 30 years. This year, we're proud to partner with Z-Trip to keep Lincoln's streets safer. Between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. from December 15th to New Year's Day, you can get a free ride home if you've had too much to drink. Just call 402-474-SAFE or click Let Friedman Drive at friedmanlaw.com. Friedman Law Offices. Helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do.
And now, a letter to Santa from the world of Yum.
Dear Santa, hi, how are you? I am well. Let's get to it. This year, Beatrice Bakery cakes for everyone. For my mom, apple streusel cake. For my dad, definitely the turtle nut cake. For my brother Jimmy, how about some of those chocolate-covered fruitcake squares? And maybe a couple of those for me too? In fact, give me more than you give him. For Mrs. Swanson at school, the chocolate...
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. It is Old School. That's, of course, Jay Foreman. Nick is here with Nick's Trivia.
Yeah. So Nick's Trivia, call right now, 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, for your chance to win $15 to Upside Bar and Lounge and get it delivered. Good, thanks to our good friends at Eagle Delivery. They will wrap it, make sure it's all good to go, and take it right to your home or business, wherever you'd like to go, and you can have it delivered thanks to Eagle Delivery. All right, here is the trivia question. So the Cleveland Browns are on their third-string quarterback, Jay and Tom, a guy named Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins played against Nebraska. Where did he go to college?
Ooh.
402-464-5685. Looks like
that's a 10-2 question.
You don't allow help on trivia questions, Dave.
Nope. This is no wingman
help
here.
Allowed. There's no wingman.
I gave a pretty good hint that they played against Nebraska. Nick Mullins. Where did he go to college? We got Troy.
What do you think, Troy?
Okay, who was that again? I'm sorry.
Yep, no, it's all good. Troy, where did Nick Mullins go to college? And you'll have 5 seconds here.
All right. Nick Mullins went to college at Colorado.
That is incorrect.
Hey, I like my boy that called in Troy.
Yeah.
He had as much confidence.
Let's
he had as much swag.
If you're going to go down with confidence.
Hey,
all right.
Fake it till you make it.
Let's go to number 2. We got Aaron on the hotline. Aaron, where did Nick Mullins go to college?
I believe that was Southern Miss.
That's
That sure was. Nice job, Aaron. You win $15 to
Good
Upside
job,
Bar
AA
and Lounge.
All righty, perfect. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Absolutely. Good job, Aaron. Yeah. 2015, Southern Miss, Nebraska. Southern Miss actually recovered an onside kick in that game, and Tommy Armstrong Jr. and Nebraska beat Southern Miss 36-28.
Nick Mullins is setting it on fire right now. 7 of 8 for 36 yards.
But they're down 7-0, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, a little bit of a crease there.
Oh, gave him the dead leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
That dead leg
Raiders
is still
have set it
working.
up.
That dead leg is still working in 2021.
Are the Raiders good?
I think they're better than they have been.
Their defense is pretty good. They got a good.
The
front
organization is in shambles, though, from the top.
The John Gruden thing didn't help, and then Mike Mayock.
This is awesome.
They drafted that defensive end from Cleveland, number 4, and he's not even active. That means he's not even playing.
They got Peyton Barber. I didn't know that. I think Derek Carr is right in the middle when it comes to NFL quarterbacks.
Right.
He's good. He's not going to necessarily win you a Super Bowl. He needs a supporting cast, but it's not like he's bad. I would take Derek Carr over Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's probably more reliable, more consistent. And he's actually playing pretty good this year without a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you got
their number 1 receiver is their tight end. He's hurt, and then their really number 1 outside guy is Hunter Renfrow, who's a slot guy who might be the best route runner in the league.
He's just reliable.
Yeah,
he's all reliable. I mean, they have Braden Edwards, I think is his name. I know it's Edwards, but
Braylon.
And they just picked up Edwards. They picked up Jackson and stuff like that, but they don't have a number 1 guy out there.
No.
Let me ask you this, because I asked Nick this earlier.
They need Antonio Brown.
It feels like one of those years in the NFL. Like I think the Chiefs and the Packers are the favorites to get the Super Bowl out of the NFC and the AFC. But it feels like one of those years you could have a Giants type scenario, the 9-7 team. It feels like there's so many teams that are right on the cusp of making the playoffs or will make the playoffs. And the teams are so even. You see so many upsets right now.
A team that's playing well, healthy, and they're going in and they could be a 5 or 6 or 7 seed. And yet they don't want to lose rhythm and they run off 3 or 4 games. You could definitely see them winning the Super Bowl, because even though the Packers, the Chiefs, obviously you watched the Bucs last night, their number, 2 receivers out for the season. The Patriots have kind of shown, they can be beat, and Packers can still lose. at home.
Good game then. I'll just name the team. You tell me if they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl or not. New England, 9-5.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo, 8-6.
Of course.
Miami, 7-7.
No chance.
Cincinnati, 8-6.
No.
Baltimore, 8-6.
No.
Cleveland, 7-6.
No.
Pittsburgh, 7-6 and 1.
No.
Tennessee, 9-5.
If King Henry comes back, yes. If not, no.
Indianapolis, 8-6 without a quarterback.
No. Carson Wentz, no.
Yeah.
See, I would disagree because they have their defense is
their defense is
good
solid,
with
but you're
Darius Leonard.
but if you have a quarterback that goes 5 for 12, you have no chance because eventually a team is going to be able to stop the run.
Well, why is that any different than with Tennessee? I'm
Well,
not trying to
Ten-
compare Jonathan Taylor and
because
Derrick
Ten-
Henry,
because
but
Tennessee has Julio Jones and Brown.
I would compare Ryan Tannehill very similar to Carson Wentz, though.
Neither
Ryan,
no.
Ryan,
but I would take
Ryan
Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill over the last 3 years
Mhm.
has outperformed Carson Wentz. Not even close.
And they both had, that's a good comparison because both have the best running backs in the league.
Yeah.
Well-
Jonathan Taylor's next best at Henry.
What's interesting is Ryan Tannehill looks like a much better quarterback with Derrick Henry.
Correct.
And it like you said, it's
But
with
Carson
the supporting
Wentz is
cast.
still garbage.
And he's got Jonathan Taylor, who's not bad.
No, not at all.
Jonathan Taylor probably should be the league MVP this
Oh,
year.
absolutely. I agree.
Okay, let me continue with the experiment. Kansas City is 10-4, obviously
Yeah.
Super Bowl contender. What about the LA Chargers? 8-6.
If they get the right matchups, yeah.
Denver, no, 7-7.
No. Teddy beat B-Water, man. He's sleep prone.
Okay, move to the NFC.
He got drilled yesterday, got hurt, and then Drew Lock came in, and that offense fell apart.
Correct.
It was horrible.
Yep, it was bad. Dallas 10-4.
Yes.
Washington 6-7.
No.
Philadelphia.
Sorry, DP.
So nobody else from that division, right?
No.
Green Bay, you've got 11-3. Obviously, Minnesota at 6-7.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Nobody else from that division. Tampa Bay 10-4. New Orleans 7-7.
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Their defense looked good, but yeah, you're right. They don't have a quarterback.
They just find a way. It's like in the NFL. There's just these couple teams that just know how they're going to.
They're the team that you don't want to play if you need one win to
Right.
get in the playoffs, and there's 2 weeks left.
And then finally in the NFC West, Arizona 10-4.
Yeah, you got to say yeah. But they are starting to reel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pocket Hercules is getting worn down.
That's right. And then the LA Rams, you've got it 9-4.
Yep.
And the San Francisco 49ers 8-6.
Ooh.
You know, the 49ers are tricky because their defense is starting to catch fire and play well, and their offense is
Starting to play like they did when they made the Super Bowl run.
Yeah, not as explosive in the run game, but Deebo Samuel, as long as he's healthy, he's an X factor.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo still playing for his job?
He's been good.
Yeah,
he's been one of the top
he's
five
been good, but what are
quarterbacks
they
in-
going to do with Lance?
Oh, I'm sure they're
They
going
gotta
to try to
find
trade him. I mean, heck, there's
Trade Garoppolo or Lance?
Garoppolo next
Okay,
year.
yeah, that's what I
there's
thought.
50
but
million teams that need a
He's
quarterback.
been playing. I think they've won 6 in a row or
Yeah,
six.
he's been playing well.
Yeah, they played some really good football, and he's been efficient with the football. He's been kind of reminds me of the Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
He was never great, but he's solid. Let's get to break. I want to know what Jay Foreman is doing for Christmas. Some of your Christmas traditions. Do you have any?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's gonna
Silent
take-
Night Temptations.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it. Coming up next, it's Old School with Jay and DP.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
But why is Nebraska not a hungry program? Why does Michigan come in with hunger? Where's the hunger? Where's the Nebraska doesn't play like a hungry team. Even on its best nights, it doesn't look like a very hungry team, right?
No.
They're not killers.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly sunny skies, but cooler conditions expected here for our Monday. We'll top out at around 36. North winds at around 10 to 20. Mainly clear tonight, a low dropping down to around 18. We'll be looking at a nice warm-up as we get into our Tuesday. Breezy again. North winds once again could gust over 20, but a high of 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your child's most important school supply is free and fits in a pocket. It's their library card, and it's important to use that card often. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA and a lifelong reader. Your local library can unlock a whole new world for your child. Explore it together. The library is a great place to learn and spend time together. Let's help every child succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Alla knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Tom and Bach.
I think the hope is from Scott Frost that the culture has been built and these guys below them have learned a lot from them and they will be able to take the mantle. That's the hope. And then what they don't have from the loss of experience, the super seniors, you can get from the portal, similar to what Mel Tucker did at Michigan State. I think that's the way they're going to attempt to build their program going forward.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Coppell Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Life was a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tom Stevens in for DP today on Old School. Jay Foreman is there.
I am here in the building.
Yeah, he's right over there. He's just a few feet away from me. Was there anything that you did growing up for Christmas that was kind of cool? Or were you like, well, your dad was probably on the road a lot, right?
Yeah, he stopped playing when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So, but growing up, we used to always drive from Minneapolis out to DC or DC area and then that's where we celebrated Christmas. So that was about it. The only tradition I probably can really think of off the top of my head was everybody congregated at my grandparents' house, and then so then they would be whatever they were drinking or whatever. So that's they'd start singing Silent Night, right? So they would put on the music.
That's where that comes from.
That's where it came from. And then about 10 or 11 after everybody gathered around and said the same stories that they've said every year, but everybody just kind of loved hearing it every year. Then me and my cousin, who was like my brother, we'd get up at he'd always come in and wake me up at like 6 or 7. We just open presents.
Did you always get a Vikings helmet?
No.
You ever get a Vikings helmet?
No Vikings helmet. No football stuff.
Not really.
My dad never pushed me to play football though, so it never really was a big deal. But what I used to really enjoy was watching football with my grandma. She loved watching.
She did.
Yeah. So one time she must have.
That's how you got into football, through your grandma?
Yeah, we'd always so when my dad was transitioning from the NFL and while he was still playing, when they used to be called the Redskins, they used to always have an inter squad scrimmage against Pittsburgh, even way back then, right? And that would be on TV. So I remember being there and during training camp in summer, and she would be talking about this player needs, do this, that.
Yeah.
And one time she watched me on tape, and it was like, it must have been like she saw my highlight tape from sophomore, freshman year in high school. She called me up and said, when you go, toward whatever sideline, you need to switch the ball to that, outside hand so you don't fumble.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
That was about it. And then when I switched to defense and I'd play a good game, she'd always call me up and say, I see you out there roughhousing a little bit. So
your dad never even pushed you in that direction or encouraged you in that direction?
No, how I got started, I always wanted to play football. I'd watched it all the time. And when my friends said there was tryouts at this or where you go up to kind of, sign up. So he got me a sign-up sheet and forged my dad's name, and I rode my bike there and did the whole way in and everything. He took my equipment home, and then I waited like a week because, you do it, and then just a couple weeks to tell him. And then that's how I got started. And then his only rule was be a good teammate and try as hard as you can. And, of course, they put me at running back. So my dad always was there and supportive. So, all the parents would be there. So he'd always just sit in his car in the end zone.
Right.
So one time he got mad. I spiked the ball and hit his car. He's like, "Boy, you gonna mess up my car. It's gonna be your butt." But never was overbearing or anything like that.
When he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, how old were you then? Probably
to the Vikings Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I just retired. Retired, so that was 2007-8. So I was 31, 32.
Oh,
that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was good for him.
That's awesome. I don't know if you watched it over the weekend, but Tiger Woods played with his son again this year in the PNC. They don't call it the father-son challenge, but it's basically
like family.
that. Yeah, because you can have your daughter and you can have just any relative in it, but they finished second.
Yeah.
In fact, could have won it. They reeled off 11 straight birdies and shot a 57. John Daly and his son John ended up winning by 2.
And he's a John Daly Jr. or the second. He's a full ride scholarship at Arkansas.
Yeah.
He's a really good player.
He bombs it way past his dad.
Yeah. And his dad can still bomb it too.
Yeah, they were really good. I was rooting for Tiger, obviously, because I'm a big Tiger guy. And it would have been cool to see a 12-year-old and Tiger. I mean, and they have the same mannerisms. They do the same thing. I mean, obviously Tiger, evidently has obviously watched some Tiger video because he has all the mannerisms down. But it was fun for me as a Tiger fan thinking, this guy, we may never see him play. I mean, after that accident, you were thinking, I don't know if I'll ever see him even tee it up again. And this is, not a big competition of it. I mean, it's if he was going to play, it would be in something like this.
Sure.
That's
more
right
now. Yeah, I think it's.
And
look, I mean, he's lucky to survive the accident, let alone play golf as recreational, right? And now he's out there playing in a somewhat competitive event. I'm sure the first day or two, or the first day is kind of like, all right, let's just knock it around a little bit. You get a chance to win, and you don't lose that type of competitive juices. He's going to try. Obviously they're trying to win, but look, I'm one of the few people, or I enjoy watching golf, and so it's always better when, Tiger, Rory, and those guys are playing, and, Tiger's grown the game because growing up, golf was always thought of as like the hoity-toity
Country
rich
club, yeah.
country club
Yeah.
guy, and he's kind of made it cool along with the other guys as well.
Yep. Well, he's in my opinion the greatest of all time. Jack Nicklaus is right there, but I just didn't know if I'd even see him play competitively ever again. And then he did. He finished second. It makes you think, maybe he could take the next step.
I think where I read, he said, he's going to have to be picky and choosy, when he can play, obviously prepare for it, and probably takes a long time for him to recover from it. But he was almost in that mode anyways, because I think they had a stat one time I was watching the Golf Channel. Anytime that it was below 60 degrees, he played horrible. Anytime above 68, he always finished in the top 10. So I think that's gonna be a lot for him too. So I'm sure, he's probably not going to be wanting to. I know he wouldn't want to play I know they don't play a regular PGA Tour event there, but I'm sure he doesn't want to walk like Omaha Country Club.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? I'm sure he's going to be picky and choosy of the venue and the time of year and all that stuff.
Yeah, he compared it to what Ben Hogan went through with his car crash.
Sure,
and came back and played selected events. He would go see the course, hang out there, but not play multiple tour events back to back to back.
3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And look, he's played a ton of golf, and be picky and choosy, and you just got to appreciate when he's playing.
I wanted to ask you about this because it made some headlines when Kenny Pickett decided to back out of the Peach Bowl. He, of course, is the Heisman. Well, went to New York. He was one of the guys that went to New York, but had a great year, 4,300 yards, 43 TDs. And now he's getting ready for the NFL draft and backing out of a big name bowl. This isn't one of those minor bowls. This is kind of a big deal. But also, Michigan State running back Kenneth Walker is saying he's not going to play either. It's becoming more and more common that these games, which we've said for a while are meaningless, if they're not the college football playoff, are really becoming meaningless for the players.
To those guys, I mean, a running back, you look at the Tampa game last night, he's out for the season with ACL one hit.
Yep.
And the way with the targeting rules, there's going to be guys
Fournette,
right. So then for the quarterback is a little bit different, because they're protected. They're kind of always in a bubble. So that's a little surprising, and I'm sure he's trying to get ready for the draft. But really, to be honest with you, if I'm a quarterback, what are you going to do? How are you going to really improve? He had a phenomenal year.
Mm-hmm.
He has a ton of tape that, and it really is going to come down to him interviewing in his pro day. And the pro day is already scripted. It's not like he's worried about going and run like a 4.40. Now, it's great if he does, but ultimately he's a pocket passer and that can run as well. But he's not Lamar Jackson. So that's a little surprising, but look, these guys have a chance to, hit the lotto one time. So you got to respect that. But you know what? Ultimately, if you're somebody else that's going to get a chance to play in that game, it's a phenomenal opportunity. So I respect their decision because they've earned the right to make that decision. I'd like to think if they're in this college football playoff or maybe playing, well, these are big bowl games, but if they're in the college football playoffs, I'm sure that you don't see any of those guys. They're playing for all the marbles. So
I wonder if that day ever happens, though, at some point where a guy backs out of the college football playoff, because it's going to 12 probably. So it's not just 4 teams. It's going to be 12 teams. I remember when Jadeveon Clowney backed out of a bowl game that was rather meaningless.
Yeah.
He took so much crap, and he was one of the first ones.
He was number one pick.
Yeah, he was the number one pick. And now it's a guy like Kenny Pickett who'll be a top 10 pick, or a guy like Kenneth Walker, probably a top 10, top 15 pick.
Yeah, it should be. Pickett is a little different because he's maybe trying to be. I think they have Willis from Liberty and him. So that's his direct competition. So he's going to probably try to find a way how to separate himself. So he's trying to maybe forecast what teams need him, where he could go. I'd be very surprised if a quarterback goes number one like it usually does every year. He's not a number one guy.
He's not.
So
you'd be reaching.
Right. But he probably wants to go top 12 versus lower 12.
Right.
And maybe he thinks another month or 2 ahead of it can help him.
And he's a 23-year-old dude. Of course, it's one of the things that Mark Whipple has sold, I'm sure, on the recruiting trail. Hey, look what I did for Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, I can do that for you.
Oh, yeah, and he's coached in the Super Bowl. He's coached at the professional level. the good thing about it, he can kind of tell these kids he knows firsthand what they look for. I mean, he's been in those meetings. You just don't coach NFL players. You're in the meetings. You're in the draft meetings. You know what you look for. You know what it takes to be an NFL quarterback, and it's helped Kenny Pickett. It can help on the recruiting trail. Obviously they're out there, I guess in the transfer looking, I don't even know. The transfer portal is like almost like a vortex. It's almost it's like a video game. You know what I mean? Like you're playing like Madden and there's all these free agents. So, it's they're still trying to do it. I mean, either he's a guy that you can sell to, transfer portal guys or future recruits. He's done it at all different levels. He's been a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. So, it's a good position to be in. And there's plenty of quarterbacks out there that can play. So I think a lot of times this is the thing about I've noticed about when people are thinking or talking about whether it's coaching changes or in this case, just as important as the offensive coordinators, what quarterback that you're possibly going to be looking for. What everybody wants, especially around here, is like, oh, well, we have to get a name so we can pay him a whole bunch of money. You want the best coach for the situation that has experience to make the team better.
Yeah.
It's no different with quarterback. Playing the position of quarterback is a lost art. That's the reason why Tom Brady's still playing and probably one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Same Aaron Rodgers will be doing the same thing if he chooses to. And I'm willing to bet Brett Favre could probably come off of his tractor down in Mississippi and still be a top 15 quarterback.
Right.
And that's why you see a lot of guys continue to play longer, because playing the position of quarterback isn't a height, weight, speed thing. It's more of a mindset thing and a mental thing. And it's kind of glossed over.
Yeah.
But when you have a coach that has experience as Whipple, he can bring that out of you. And I think you saw that with Pickett.
And I want to ask you about that, marrying concepts, because I'm sure that's happened to you at some point during your playing career, that you lose a defensive coach or a defensive coordinator and another guy comes in and he likes some of the concepts that were effective that you were using. So some of the terminology stays the same. Maybe some of it's different. And that's, I'm guessing, what Nebraska will go through a little bit. Even though Mark Whipple says he wants to keep a lot of the same terminology, he's going to bring some of the stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure that's what they're paying him for. Coaches, come and go all the time. So it's just part of the business, it's part of the way college football is part of the business, just like players going to transfer portal all the time. So, I think the biggest thing is meshing, whatever their vision or his vision is, if the offensive coordinator or whatever, whoever's the guy putting it together, marrying it to the talent pool that we have and getting the best out of everybody. That's all that matters. And you just got to get guys that are going to go out there and execute it and do, the biggest thing. Everybody's like, oh, Nebraska needs to learn how to win. That's like a fictitious statement. What you need to do, or we need to do, is do the routine thing so much that it's just second nature. And then that's where you'll see consistency down the stretch.
But it takes discipline to do the routine things.
That is the discipline. That is the discipline.
Yeah.
Doing it when actually everybody can play hard and be disciplined when it's easy, right? When it's, like the Northwestern game, right? I can hear the snap count a little bit better. I can finish blocks, right? Because you're rolling, right? You got to be disciplined and do the routine things when you don't feel like doing it. And the majority of the time when you play sports, I mean, you heard Tanya Taki talk about it, her shins, right?
Yeah.
It's no different than shoulders and neck of a football player. You know how many times that she went and trained and busted her tail when I'm sure her feet were hurting, ankles, shins, knees, and you got to put in a good hour or two, however it is. You got to do that all the time, and you got to do it with the mindset that you're not only doing it for yourself, but then you're doing it for the team first.
I would like to see a quarterback at Nebraska that when they leave Nebraska and set 16 school records like Adrian Martinez did, or Tommy Armstrong did before him, or Taylor Martinez did before him, that he's not still the biggest villain in the state. And it feels like Nebraska.
Tommy Armstrong's not a villain, is he?
Just ask Tom. I think he mentioned it on Twitter the other day, or he was quoted as he worked out with Richard Torres, who's a commit for the University of Nebraska.
Tommy Armstrong did.
Yeah, and he just mentioned that Nebraska fans can be different. In the intensity. I think he felt the intensity of playing quarterback at Nebraska.
Hey, dude. Hey, if this is too much for you, don't think about playing in the league. Do not play. I'm telling you right now. Do not even think about
Yeah.
it. I was getting my oil changed once.
Right.
And a dude in Buffalo dressed me down.
Really? What did he say?
About a third down tackle against Sean Alexander. Now, mind you, I know I hit double digits, right? I thought I played pretty good.
Pretty good.
But he asked me how I missed the tackle on 3rd and 6.
While you're getting your oil change.
Oil change, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, what the hell were you thinking? You're a better player than that.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm fine with it, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you got to welcome the pressure because you can't run away from the pressure, or I guess, or the negative press, or what the exposure can be. But then on the same term, or on the same side that you're the first one that everybody talks about. In this case, you'd be the guy that's going to get all the NIL, right?
Yeah.
But then where's your like self inventory, right?
Right.
Or is some of the stuff that they're saying possibly true? Am I working hard enough? Am I truly invested? If somebody would question you, right? Let me ask you this: somebody would question you as a 4-year starter, and what do you say, own 16 records?
Yep. Adrian Martinez.
Well, I'm just saying as you, and then you're in the transfer portal 3 days after. Do you think, is it right for somebody to question whether you truly invested for the whole season?
He did take a lot of criticism at Nebraska from the fan base. I mean,
I'm asking you this though. I'm saying if you started 4 years and owned pretty much every record, and then 3 days after the season's over, you're in the transfer portal. Would it be right for somebody to ask you if you were truly invested during that said last season?
I think that's a good question to ask, Jay. But I would also ask what happened in that exit meeting where because they didn't announce the day after the Iowa loss that he was in the transfer portal. I think
it was like 3 days after.
It was a little longer than that.
Okay, 4.
But
a week. Okay. But you've been somewhere for 4 years. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I get it, but I have a feeling that he asked the question, are you recruiting another quarterback? Are you going into the portal to get my replacement, or is this my job? And he might not have liked his answer when he asked that question.
Sure. But ultimately, could you say that is your, but could you really realistically, Kenny Pickett could ask that right?
Yeah.
How many games he won this year? 10?
11-2. I think he went 11-2.
And what's his stats?
Oh,
he went to the Heisman.
4,300 yards, 43 TDs, or 2,300. Yeah, it was 4,300 yards.
I mean, you could really ask that question, but then on the flip side, I would say this, right? Here's what I would say. Here's what I would be thinking as a player. Like I would ask because I want to know.
Yeah.
I got my shoulder operated. I just want to see. I'm the type of, I like to see the late. You can tell me whatever you want, but just tell me the truth, and I'll deal with it, right? Because at the end of the day, right? All the stuff that it's not all on Adrian, right?
No.
Because anybody that knows football, it's not all on Adrian, right? So ultimately, I would say, okay, well, you're going to get some better pieces around me so I can actually play to the expectation that both of we
That's fair.
have. Okay, fine. And you say yes. You're going to get competition at quarterback. Okay, I might not like it. I understand. I gave you essentially my body. I understand it, but it is a business. Yeah, I'm going to might be a little pissed or hurt when you're telling me. But I would sit back and think like, okay, unless like Justin Fields or Joe Burrow comes in here, nobody's taking my job.
Yeah.
They can't beat me on experience as long as I come back healthy. They can't beat me from leadership, right? As far as like leading the team, regardless of who the coach is, right?
Right.
And if it comes all down to it, who do you think they're going to need? The nod's going to go to.
Yeah.
You would have to outplay me during the season, and then I would have to play horrible.
I was one of those that wanted to see Adrian come back, and I wonder how that conversation, that exit interview went. But you're right. If you're confident in your skills, bring it on. I mean, I don't care if it is Justin Fields. I'm going to beat the guy out. I mean,
it would have to be Justin Fields, where you're like, you know what, this dude's.
Yeah.
It'd be like or Michael Parsons came in at linebacker, and all right, dude. Okay, that's next level.
I do think we would have seen if Adrian would have stayed. I still think they go get a guy like Keaton Slovich, which there's speculation out there that they would get the USC transfer. So you have two. It would be interesting because you have two different quarterbacks and two different quarterback styles. It would almost be like, let's put a pro style guy in there and a dual threat guy in there and see who wins out. See who wins the day.
Yeah, you could do that, or I think Adrian could throw the ball.
I do too.
Yeah, so I think again, that would even actually give him more of an advantage. I'm sure he's more of a runner. He's faster than than whoever this guy is.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well at Kansas State. I think a lot of Husker fans feel this way when it comes to Adrian Martinez. It's time for Scott Frost to show what he can do without him, and maybe Adrian's chance to show what he can do without.
And look, you got to respect his decision. He's done more positive. I think I probably would have thought long term versus than next year.
You were wondering what the transfer portal sounds like. We had this thought in our head. This is what it sounds like, Jay.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the transfer portal.
Yeah, you just get in there, and it's almost like you're just lost in space somehow.
You know what it might sound like. Like how in Star Wars they say we're going into light speed or whatever.
Right.
That's it. That's what it looks like when you put your name in there.
And then the door opens. It's like an elevator door, and you just walk around the hallway. There's Oregon. There's USC. There's Nebraska, Oklahoma. Which door are you going to go through? Yeah. And then you're automatically there, and you don't have to sign any papers. You're just there. That's just my vision of the transfer portal. Let's get to break and come back with more. It's Old School. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Tom Stevens, sitting in for DP today.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Allah knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
This year, show her she's the one with 1 carat diamond jewelry from Riddle's Jewelry, your trusted family-owned jeweler for over 60 years. Choose from Riddle's remarkable collection of 1 carat total weight diamonds in rings, pendants, bracelets, or earrings at prices you'll love with savings up to 50%. Show the one you love how much they mean to you with the perfect 1 carat diamond gift from Riddle's Jewelry.
Located in Gateway Mall.
On-Time Transport in Lincoln says stay safe this holiday season by keeping parties off of our roads. Avoid talking, texting, and speeding. And don't forget, buzz driving is still driving under the influence and can lead to trouble or grief. This safety message from On-Time Transport. For more information, call 402-328-9082. That's 328-9082 or online at ottlincoln.com. On-Time Transport, reminding you that when you're behind the wheel, let's give our truckers some room on the road and have a safe, happy holiday season.
When we're building homes for people, we're really trying to advise on the things that are going to create value so that when they go to sell it, they're going to have equity so that they can go build their second home.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers. We've been very blessed with great office staff, with great employees, and great subcontractors. We worked with a lot of new people building their dream home. We've built some great relationships. A lot of those relationships will continue. We'll be building them another new home down the road. So I'd like to take this time to wish all of our past customers and our future customers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Your child's most important school supply is free and fits in a pocket. It's their library card, and it's important to use that card often. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the NSEA and a lifelong reader. Your local library can unlock a whole new world for your child. Explore it together. The library is a great place to learn and spend time together. Let's help every child succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Layton.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J, presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I do not want your little self to work any harder than you have. You know what I'm saying?
Don't put up too much.
I'm here to make your life easy.
Who sings the song?
50.
50 Cent?
Yeah.
Good choice.
You know my favorite song of 50 is Window Shopper.
Ooh. All right.
Do you know that one?
I do not.
But my favorite song of all time is Tip Drill.
Oh, I know it is. I might put it in the next break just to put
That
for
bumps in a bump. That just always brings a smile to my face.
I want to ask you this. Tom Brady, of course, had his first shutout since 2006 yesterday. He had gone 255 games without a shutout, but Tampa was terrible. He had a pick. He had a fumble. New Orleans defense was really good. And he lost Mike Evans in that game, Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin's out for the season.
He's gone for the year. Did you say Fournette's in trouble with
Fournette pulled a hammy.
Okay, Fournette's got a hammy. Levante David had an injury in that game. Bunch of injuries, like 7 injuries for Tampa, and they get beat. It does feel like, to me, it's one of those years where just anybody could win it. I mean, Tampa Bay, yeah, I thought they were the best team, but maybe they're not.
Yeah, I mean, they it's a loss to maybe get guys' attention. Look, when you lose your number 1, number 2 receiver and your third number 1 receiver, because they had 2 number 1 receivers, and Antonio Brown's a number 1 receiver, and he's out for having a fake COVID card, and then you're down to your 5th.
He might never play again.
Oh, he's playing. He's already back on the team.
Is he back?
Yeah,
he's
back today.
Was he back today? Okay.
Oh yeah, he's back today.
I missed
so
that.
it's just one of those things, and then then they could double team Gronk, and look, you're playing in the division. The Saints know Tampa Bay. Tampa knows them. And so it's going to be a lot tougher sledding playing against them.
If you were to take money to Vegas, who would you bet on? I mean, right now to win it all.
If I had to bet on one team right now, the way they're playing, I don't know. I mean, I would have to say
it's probably Kansas City, but I don't love Kansas City. I like Kansas City. The defense is
considering
great.
how much Tampa has injuries, I would probably lean
Green Bay. You could make that argument.
Probably Green Bay. They've been the most consistent. I was gonna say Kansas City, but the Chargers ran for like almost 300 yards against them, and that's always been their Achilles heel. But Jones was out, so I would probably either say Green Bay or Kansas City.
Yep, I would as well. Hey, the Nebraska women's basketball team is playing really well.
Yeah,
I don't know if we give them enough credit. They are 7-0. Or actually 11-0. They're one of 7 teams in the country that are undefeated right now in college basketball. They have Wyoming on Wednesday, and if they win that, I think it's among the best starts in school history already there.
Good for them. I mean, and they're fun to watch. And the cool thing about them that so far this year, they've won in different ways. They've won obviously just blowing people out, running and gunning. and then they had to gut out a couple victories, and so they're building team chemistry. They got a good mix of older players and young players, and it's kind of good mix. And I think Coach Williams and the coaching staff has done a good job over the last couple of years of, keeping the girls that want to be here and kind of getting girls that have kind of bought into their team culture and they're mentally tough. And I think the tip off is at noon on Wednesday.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because the guys play later that night, right?
That's
yeah,
right.
So
they had 5 players in double figures. They were actually down, I think, at half, 45-39. Came back, won at 89-68. As I mentioned, 5 players at double figures. Ashley Scroggins led the way with 16 points, had 4 threes. Nebraska made 12 threes overall. Alexis Markowski might make an argument as one of the best freshmen in the entire Big Ten. Was Andy there at the school when you were there? Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen, obviously, Alexis play in high school, seen a couple games this year. Footwork and the hands. I think I'm willing to say she has the best hands of any basketball player on campus right now, inside, especially in traffic.
And she's a rebound. She's a rebounding machine. She gets a lot of hoops close to.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She got strong hands, good feet, agile, legit. 6'3", 6'4". So it's a good addition to it. So then it takes a little bit of pressure off of some of the young ladies that had to play inside last year. When you can bring her in there and she can battle in the Big Ten and she can run. She's athletic and she's got a nice little 15-foot jumper too.
Yeah. She's efficient. She only played 17 minutes, had her second straight double-double, 15 points and 10 rebounds. So Alexis Markowski is the real deal. But
it's the same soup we just reheated, just over there from Pius X, Nick.
Oh yeah,
she's the
you knew her from high school.
She's the best thing to come out of Pius X.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Maddie Simon was up there. Maddie Simon was up there. I mean, they're both Gatorade Player of the Years in whichever year they graduated. Maddie had some decent success at Nebraska, but right now Alexis's career is really getting off to a fast start. I mean, back-to-back double-doubles. I mean, and she was co-freshman of the week again this week.
Right.
So,
it's cool.
Yeah, not bad. I will say Husker women's basketball really, really impressive. And we kind of talked about it is they're winning in ways, and their players understand that when their shot's not falling, they can still affect the game in other ways.
And they can play different ways. But
exactly.
They can do that because they're deep. They're a deep, legitimate deep team.
Yeah, no, there's at least eight people that you're comfortable putting out
and
there.
They play their backup point guard during crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, look, you know what? I mean, if you're a starter, you'd be like, oh, it's not my night. But it's a great feeling that you can say, hey, look, my, I guess, so-called backup or my equal can finish out a game.
Well, I will say this is I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Scratch that. Sorry about that, guys.
I definitely think there's some programs at the university that maybe could take a trip and watch a John Cook practice, or take a trip and watch an Amy Williams practice. One of the things I've loved about Nebraska volleyball this year is a lot of teams say they're all in for each other. They actually practice it because that was a team I thought John Cook took a big gamble this year of benching a 2-time All-American. And, he basically said it's going to be based on how you practice. And I'm sorry, but that freshman, in fact, a couple of them, Allie Batenhorst has beaten you out, or Lindsay, Krause has beaten you out, or, Lonstein has beaten you out. Sorry, she's just playing better than you are. And instead of pouting, I haven't seen a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, because if you athletes generally adapt to their good athletes, good teammates, people that really truly want to win will adapt to their environment. You know what I mean? And if you kick it straight to them and keep it real with them, and there's I'm pretty sure there was some lips poked out, or people were pissed or whatever, but ultimately, if you didn't put in the work, or if somebody's playing better than you, or if they're on a run, then you got to play them. But that doesn't mean you don't keep working, because I think there was a couple games Sun came in and stepped in when she had to, she was called upon, and that builds a team chemistry and stuff like that. So it's just part of the deal.
You went through that as a player. I mean, obviously you were on teams that were every year competing for a national title, and even Grant Wistrom didn't come in and play right away, or Mike Rucker, or, the Peter brothers. Those guys had to wait their turn.
You had to wait your turn. But you had to be prepared. Be prepared. Grant Wisham came in. I think he might have been the USA Today Defensive Player of the Year or whatever, and he didn't start because we had Dante Jones and Dwayne Harris. He ended up starting the next year, but he played sparingly. Some games he played 20 plays, some he played only 5. Jason Peter, myself, and Mike Rucker, we all redshirted, got our butts kicked on scout team. But then, when it was our chance, we had to do. But we never let up. We knew that there was guys behind us that wanted to, take reps from us. And you got, practice is really where you get good. That's what that's
right.
I don't understand how people come to practice and try to find ways not to practice,
Right.
and then try to say you love football.
Well, and I think this team, this volleyball team, like many of your teams in the 90s, late 90s, got better, not because necessarily they were playing great teams every weekend. The best teams they saw every day were in practice.
Right. And you had to bring it. So as you're like kind of walking around campus, okay, practice is at 3. Like, this ain't going to be a walk in the park. And so I want somebody else to be thinking this ain't going to be a walk in the park.
Who does that fall on more, the coaching staff or the player to accept their role, or as the coaches to instill that role, or is it both?
It's a little bit of both, but I think the coach got to just say, hey, look, this is where we're at. Be honest with everybody. Tell everybody the same thing. I can't tell Tom something and then lie to you, because then I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose both of you.
The way I look at it,
as long as I'm telling you guys both the same thing, then then whoever wins or whoever loses is going to deal with it.
Because I think that's a big part that gets overlooked, like with John Cook, or even you can say it with the Husker baseball team last year. Let's look at Husker baseball. Is they still have to continue building their program, but it's nice having those six year guys back or fifth year guys back, and so they still have to build their program. So as long as everybody, like you just said, Jay, I feel like as long as everybody's on the same page, communication, right? Then there's no way hard or feelings can get hurt.
Yeah, and look, just because I've been there, I've started as a redshirt freshman, split time, didn't really feel like I should have been. It's not fun because I worked my tail off and then moved to another position, doing the same thing. I guess if they had the transfer portal, I probably might have shot him to bird. And probably felt like I had the right to do it, right? But you stick it out, you figure it out, it makes you tougher. It brings something out of you that you got to bring a different. Every year, you should not be satisfied with what you did the year before. There's always something to improve on.
I remember Tom Osborne telling recruiting stories saying, hey, we hauled in a good class, but I had certain recruits, and they were top 50 recruits that would come say, I can't play for you. I'm not good enough. John Cook has had that same thing where some women have gotten, and watched these games with 8,000 people, and they go, that your spotlight is too intense for me.
Right. Yeah. So you just never know how somebody's going to react to competition or adversity. There's no star ranking for that.
Yeah.
They don't have a toughness star ranking. They don't have a mental toughness star ranking. They don't even have a physical toughness star ranking. Guys are getting star rankings a lot of times from being at a shorts and t-shirt camp and playing 7-on-7.
Yeah.
That's a word. You'll hear a guy, oh, he had a great summer. Well, what did he do? Oh, well, he went to a couple camps and ran a good 40 and did good against 7-on-7. Well, I'm sorry. I'm seeing 22 guys out there playing on that game.
Yep.
Not one 7-on-7 out there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, in today's world of recruiting, not just are you recruiting 18, 19-year-olds, more so now, a lot of schools like Nebraska right now, in a crucial year, going to year 6 now, that you need to evaluate guys at a very high level to know where their head's at.
You just gotta. Nick Saban, he talks about he brings guys in and then he de-stars them. You gotta break them down. You gotta break them down. You got a pecking order. Tanya talked about it where the standard is set is you're not going to come in here as some freshman and act like you have no sense at Nebraska. There's a pecking order. Look, man, seniors coming to sit down, dude. You're a freshman. Get up.
No, I said year 6, year 5, obviously. 464-5685. What do you guys usually do in the last segment, Nick?
We just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
You want to recap some of your picks? Do you remember them?
Man.
Did you do well?
No.
Let's talk about that then.
No, actually, I did do well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. I'll try to. Man, they're dropping so many balls for out here.
The Raiders,
it's cold out there. It's cold for the little Raiders.
Nick Mullen not having a great day. The Raiders are winning currently 10-0. What quarter is it in right now?
Third
quarter.
Don't know.
The only game that made me mad was the Jets losing to the Dolphins.
Well, can we actually talk about Dan Campbell and Detroit next?
Yeah, sure.
We could do that.
We can talk whatever you want.
They're on a roll. Detroit is on a roll.
Don't be saying that. But I'm just curious because it was. I don't know. Did you see the video on Twitter of him talking?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that guy still has that much say or power in that locker room when they're 2-11.
Well, he's a head coach and playing against Dan in college and the pros. I mean, that's who he is. He's just
He's a well-liked guy, isn't he?
He's a football guy. Everybody says that he's a great teammate and he's a leader, and he believes in his players.
Yep. Well, we'll talk
really
about
cool.
it.
Let's dive
talk
into
a
that
little Lions football, will we? Let's do it next. It's Old School with DP and J.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto on West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Partly sunny skies, but cooler conditions expected here for our Monday. We'll top out at around 36. North winds at around 10 to 20. Mainly clear tonight, a low dropping down to around 18. We'll be looking at a nice warm-up as we get into our Tuesday. Breezy again. North winds once again could gust over 20, but a high of 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A new Planet Fitness location is open near you. To celebrate, you can join for just $1 down and then $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
A brand new Planet Fitness location is now open at 84th and Lake.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See Club for details.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
One host has a red beard and thinning hair. The other also has a red beard and thinning hair. One host got married over the summer. So did the other one. One is a diehard fan of a sub-500 AL Central baseball team. So is the other. Can these two radio hosts do a show together without getting confused as to their own identity? The same couple. Happer and Schaefer. Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
when we're building homes for people, we're really trying to advise on the things that are going to create value so that when they go to sell it, they're going to have equity so that they can go build their second home.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers. We've been very blessed with great office staff, with great employees, and great subcontractors. We worked with a lot of new people building their dream home. We've built some great relationships. A lot of those relationships will continue. We'll be building them another new home down the road. So I'd like to take this time to wish all of our past customers and our future customers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J. Presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is.
That might be the new tradition to do on Christmas.
Do what?
Be in my Christmas pajamas and hit you with the pumps and the bump with the Santa hat on.
Jay, I need you to send me a video. Text me a video of you doing that, of you dancing to Pumps and the Bump. On Christmas Day, I will not post it. I just want to see it.
Depends on how many drinks I've had.
What's your?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I gotta do this, man. I just got a text from my main man Ian. He said he was still in school. I'm like, dude, well, who goes to school on their birthday? But he's disciplined. So if Ian, if your little ears are out there, your little 14-year-old, happy birthday.
Who was in school at 4 p.m.?
I don't know. I sent him a text and it was green, so I know he had his phone off. He probably messing with his little boys. He got these other kids he hangs with. They all try to act like they don't get in trouble with these when they get together.
It's trouble.
Kids, good trouble. So happy birthday again to my main man Ian, and so I might have some libations.
You got practice tonight?
Tomorrow. And here's what I played in this Christmas tournament, man. Or we played in this Christmas tournament. I usually try to take it serious. I said, you know what? I'm trying to be like little I'll get in the spirit.
Oh no.
I'll wear the little Santa hat. And we went out there and got the brakes beat off of us. Played like straight garbo. If you guys don't know what garbo is, we play like straight garbage. That's the French version of garbage.
What league are you in?
It was just a tournament.
Jay.
What?
Side note, sidebar. Bryce says on the text line, one of the worst Hammer songs.
Bryce got issues.
Bro.
Don't you feel sorry for Bryce?
I do.
You poor thing, Bryce.
He's sad because he's not in here bumping it with us.
Bryce, you don't even get any you don't get any respect saying that. Everybody loves that song. And the video, Bryce, if you want to have some entertainment, watch Pumps in the Bump, the first one and the second one.
Which one's better, Pumps in the Bump or Tip Drill?
Oh, Tip Drill.
Tip Drill.
I'm going to check it out on the way.
Tom, have you ever seen Tip Drill?
No, neither.
What is it when you send somebody a video is not for work? Or whatever, NFW, don't open at work. Tip Drill. You don't want to do that. You will never look at it.
Send it to me on the way.
You will never look at your credit card again. Just saying. Every time you swipe your credit card at the gas station, you be like, is this Tip Drill? Let me swipe it again.
Now I'm really curious. But I'm not sure I'm ready for that kind of trouble. Red Panda, you said you've never seen her. She's coming from Kennesaw State.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out. I'm going to have to check it out because I think my daughters want to go check out the women.
Oh, at noon.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The women play, and then the guys later on.
You heading out at noon?
Yeah. What time?
Nice.
What time is the men's game?
Men's game's at 6:30.
So Red Panda will perform both times.
Yeah, women's game's at noon. Red Panda's there at halftime for both.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
Hey, women are 11-0 for best start since 2009-2010. When a season they started
30-1,
30-0. They started 30-0.
30-0.
But
They were 30-0.
They were 30-0.
Did they go to NCAA?
Yeah.
they were the number 1 seed that year.
Lost in the Sweet 16 to Kentucky. Yeah.
That was Connie Ori was a great coach.
That was Connie Ori, and then I think they had Dominique Kelly and Jordan Hooper that year.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've heard of them.
So maybe
I think she was
maybe
player of the year in the conference.
You know what? That might be before Jordan Hooper. That might be Kelsey Griffin.
It was Kelsey.
2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
2009 was Kelsey Griffin.
Is Kelsey Griffin related to Nicole?
No, it's Griffith.
Griffith.
Oh, okay. My
Nicole
bad.
Griffith.
I will say this though. We were talking about Husker women's basketball. I remembered my thought that Allison Widener from Hastings, St. Cecilia, I think is where she's from. Small town Nebraska. Allison Widener, she's the point guard off the bench that you were talking about.
Yeah.
She's a dog. She plays hard. We were talking about it during my show that it's refreshing to see every player, every guard, especially on the women's team, do little things like following their shot, moving without the basketball. And that's how they're going to absolutely, especially on the women's game when it's all played on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're not
moving
above the
without
rim.
the basketball in the men's game is a big separator between teams that are efficient offensively and teams that are stagnant.
Yeah.
They go 12 deep too. They play a lot of girls. They put a lot of pressure on you. They forced 17 turnovers against Drake. They're going to be a problem, I think, because they've always played hard, and that's one of the things I've admired about Amy Williams. But now she has talent.
Yeah,
and she's deep
and depth. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wet Blanket corrected me on the text line. Thank you. Shout out Wet Blanket. Humphrey St. Francis. That's where.
Is that by
she's
Columbus?
from. Not sure. Not sure where Humphrey is.
Humphrey.
But no, small town school. I watched her play in the state tournament, and like it was impressive. But you never know. Similar to like Alexis Markowski, I didn't know how her game would translate to the college level number one, or how soon it would.
Oh,
but
I knew she was going to be good.
Right out of the gate.
Because she can catch in traffic and she can score in traffic, and there's no wasted motions. She got good footwork.
How big is the basketball background for a player like her down low, with having Andy?
Oh, that's. I mean,
Is it huge?
I'm sure he's taught her some things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure just.
And she can step out.
Yeah.
She can step out and hit a three. She's done it before.
And they have a great program, I'm sure, that she came up through in the lasers or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
She's well ready. She's well ready to go.
Do you want to say something about Detroit?
Yeah, we can have about a minute left here. But I just thought it was super cool. Detroit. I mean, Dan Campbell, obviously I don't know him, but we talked about it during the break. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You're listening to.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't
it's
realize.
just the back end. Oh,
that was just
you want to
the back
pause
end.
that?
Yeah, pause it. There we go.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, I don't know why the out's not
You
in there.
guys out here giving DP a heart attack while you're at a high-end restaurant out there in New York.
That's right.
DP's not
We're
listening.
blowing up the station while
if,
he's gone.
If he's not, if he's listening, he needs to just stay on vacation. He's all good. Enjoy it. But no, anyway, like I said, I mean, they had Amon-Ra St. Brown. They had Jared Goff, who is Garbo, and then no TJ Hawkinson, and they still were able to beat Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dan Campbell's a real deal, and you're happy for Detroit to keep plugging away very easily in this day and time in the NFL. When you get towards the end of the season, guys have already lined up your U-Hauls, and look, when you hear the team break down, say, let's try to win these next three, they're trying to improve on something. And you know what? I got to give a shout out to my former teammate, Aaron Glenn, is their defensive coordinator.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Remember Aaron?
Yeah.
Vikings play the Bears tonight. Are you watching?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to probably go with the Vikings. Even though I love Justin Fields, they got a horrible offensive line.
I need Justin Fields to do well for my fantasy team, but I want the Vikings to win, so not too well. But the Vikings need to make the playoffs. I mean, it's going to be right on the cusp as to whether or not they do.
Do you clean house?
If they don't, Zimmer's got to go. Sorry.
There you go. See, Jake done rubbed off everybody up in here.
We are out. Nicole's in next. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
When we're building homes for people, we're really trying to advise on the things that are going to create value so that when they go to sell it, they're going to have equity so that they can go build their second home.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers. We've been very blessed with great office staff, with great employees, and great subcontractors. We worked